Exploring countries Vietnam. Readers will explore geographic features of Vietnam as well as the culture and traditions of the Vietnamese people. Where is Vietnam? Vietnam is a long, narrow country in Southeast Asia. It covers 127,881 square miles, stretching 1,025 miles from north to south. The narrowest part of the country is only 31 miles across. The capital of Vietnam is Hanoi, a city on the west bank of Red River. Vietnam borders three countries. Its northern neighbor is China. To the west are Laos and Cambodia. In the south, a small part of Vietnam reaches the Gulf of Thailand. Vietnam also has a long eastern coastline along the South China Sea. The northeastern coast faces the Gulf of Tonkin. Did you know Vietnam looks small and skinny on a map, but it is longer than California and has more than twice as many people? Vietnam is a mountainous country. Its highest point is Phan Xipang, which rises a height of 10,312 feet in the Hoang Liên Sơn mountain range. The Central Highlands lie in the southern half of Vietnam. Rainforests cover river valleys and mountains. Vietnam's mountains slope down to green hills and plains. Sandy beaches lie in coasts on the South China Sea. In the north, the Red River branches into a wide delta. The muddy Mekong River flows through southern Vietnam. The southern tip of Vietnam is the Ca Mau Cape. Hạ Long Bay. Hạ Long Bay, or Descending Dragon Bay, opens into the Gulf of Tonkin. More than 3,000 step pillars and small islands rise out of the bay. According to a legend, a family of dragons created these limestone formations. The dragons came to Hạ Long Bay to protect the Vietnamese from a Chinese invasion. They spat jade and jewels into the sea, shielding the nation with a barrier of stone. Scientists think Hạ Long Bay formed because of erosion. They believe rain and waves wore away the limestone over millions of years. Many of the formations have large caves that people enjoy exploring. Fun fact, there are 4 fishing villages in Hạ Long Bay. Since there's no flat land to build upon, the houses are designed to float on the water. Wildlife. Fun fact, the Vietnamese chop poisonous snakes for food, medicine, and snake wine, a drink that is believed to be good for one's health. Did you know, in 1989, Vietnam passed a law that bans the hunting of Asiatic black bears. Poachers, however, continue to hunt them illegally. They use the bears for food and medicine. Vietnam has many forms of wildlife, including a variety of birds. Wild pheasants, parrots, and partridges nest in the lowlands. Herons, cranes, and pelicans live along the seacoast. Some of these birds migrate during the winter. The rainforests of Vietnam are home to tigers, white boars, Asian elephants, and the Javan rhinoceros. Monkeys, lemurs, and doglangers play in the treetops. Small herds of gaur also roam through the forest. The gaur is the largest species of white cattle in the world. The Asiatic black bear, a moon bear, and the Malayan sun bear are 2 kinds of bear that can be found in Vietnam. However, the Asiatic black bear population is falling and the bear is in danger of extinction. The people. Over 89 million people live in Vietnam. The cities, river, valleys, and lowlands are very crowded. Mountainous areas have only a few villages and farms. Vietnam is home to more than 50 different groups of people. After the Vietnamese, the largest group is the Thai, who live in the north. Hmong, Chinese, Khmer, and Thai people also live in Vietnam. Speak Vietnamese. The Vietnamese language is tonal. The meaning of a word changes with the rising, falling, or steady tone of the speaker. English is hello, and when it translated to Vietnamese, it is chào. Goodbye is tạm biệt. Yes is vâng. No is không. Please is làm ơn. Thank you is cảm ơn bạn. Friend is bạn. Fun fact, at one time, Vietnam was a colony of France. Some older Vietnamese still speak still speak French. The Daguerre people are native to the central highlands of Vietnam. They speak their own languages and make up 30 different tribes. Vietnamese is the country's official language. Daily life. Did you know most Vietnamese people still live in the countryside and farm the land? Some live in huts made from bamboo, the fastest growing woody plant on earth. For many Vietnamese people, the day begins with a ride to work to school. In cities, most people use motorbikes or buses to get around. In the countryside, farmers rise early in the morning to go to work in the fields. The afternoon is the hottest part of the day. Many people go home for the midday meal. They eat and cool off before returning to work. Where people live in Vietnam, countryside is 72% and cities is 28%. In the evening, cities are crowded with people strolling and shopping. They can relax in cafes with a coffee or a glass of juice. Many cafes stay open late. In the countryside, many people go to bed soon after the sun sets. Going to school. All children in Vietnam must attend elementary school. They start school at the age of 6 and continue for 5 years. They study reading, writing, math, and history. After elementary school, students may choose to move on to 4 years of middle school. However, many Vietnamese families cannot afford further schooling for their children. If students continue, they must pass tests to enter high school or vocational school. High school, students take courses in science, math, history, civics, and geography. If high school graduates want to go to university, they must take a series of tests. Only about 1 out of 4 students goes on to attend university. Fun fact: in Vietnam, students are in charge of cleaning the classrooms. Groups of students take turns showing up early to school to clean. Working, where people work in Vietnam. Farming is 51.9%, manufacturing 50.4%, and services is 32.7%. Did you know Vietnam is one of the world's biggest producers of cashews? It sells more than 150,000 tons of this sweet nut to other countries every year. Vietnam has a growing economy. Factory workers in the cities make clothing, shoes, cement, and fertilizers. Many foreign companies invest in new factories in Vietnam that make computers and electronic equipment. Most Vietnamese people earn a living from the land. Farmers grow rice, cotton, tea, sugarcane, and peanuts. Some raise cattle, water buffalo, pigs, and chickens. Fish farms supply shrimp and fish to markets and restaurants. Rubber plantations send materials to factories where rubber goods like tires are made. Vietnam also has a growing coffee industry. The country sells most of its coffee to the United States. Playing. In Vietnam, people like to play competitive games. These include soccer, badminton, ping pong, and volleyball. Many kinds study martial arts. They attend classes to learn and practice judo, Vietnam, and other fighting styles. Along the coast, many Vietnamese people swim and surf. The Vietnamese often visit friends and families in the evenings. People gather to talk, play cards, sing karaoke, or watch television. City cafes are good places to meet with friends, watch people on the street, or play a game of chess, which is a favorite of many Vietnamese people. Food. Fun fact: fish sauce is used to flavor many Vietnamese dishes. It is made from the juice of mashed fish. The Vietnamese cook noodles, rice, fresh vegetables, and many kinds of seafood and meat. To flavor the dishes, they use herbs and chilies. Pho is a favorite soup made with meat or fish, noodles, basil, beans sprouts, and lime. Another common meal is bánh mì. This is a sandwich made with sliced meat, cucumbers, radishes, carrots, and an herb called cilantro. People in Vietnam usually eat 3 meals a day. They start with a slight breakfast of soup, rice, or bread. At midday, they eat a small meal. In the evening, many families gather for dinner around a hot cooking pot or lẩu. Meat, shrimp, and vegetables are ready to be boiled and dipped in tasty sauces. Did you know, when preparing a fish, Vietnamese cooks try to include spicy When preparing a dish, Vietnamese cooks try to include spicy, sour, bitter, salty, and sweet flavors. They also try to use the five traditional colors, which are white, green, yellow, red, and black. Both of these traditions are based on the five elements, which are wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Holidays. The most important holiday in Vietnam is Tết Nguyên đán, or Tết for short. This is the Vietnamese New Year, celebrated with feasts and gifts. The holiday lasts for several days. The Vietnamese also observe many other national holidays. On May 19th, they celebrate the birthday of Ho Chi Minh, a famous Vietnamese leader. Independence Day is celebrated on September the 2nd. This marked the day of 1947, when Ho Chi Minh declared Vietnamese independence from France. In 2007, Vietnam created a new holiday celebrating the Hung Kings. These kings ruled ancient Vietnam. They established a dynasty that lasted for more than 2,000 years. The Hung Kings Temple Festival takes place in April. In 1975, Vietnamese adopted a form of government called communism. By the 1980s, Vietnam was a very poor country. Under communism, the Vietnamese government took control of every business. Foreign companies could not sell the goods or invest in Vietnam. Many factories closed, and it was hard for people to buy what they need. In 1986, the government began a new system called "đổi mới", which means change. Foreign companies could build new factories and sell products in Vietnam. Since then, it has been easier for Vietnamese people to find jobs and buy the goods they need. "Đổi mới" has played a huge role in improving Vietnam's economy and reconnecting the country with the rest of the world. Fast facts about Vietnam. Vietnam's flag. The flag of Vietnam is red with a five-pointed yellow star in the center. The red color represents blood, revolution, and the Communist Party, and the yellow color represents Vietnam. The 5 points of the star stand for the country's peasants, workers, intellectuals, traders, and soldiers. In 1975, this flag was adopted as the new national flag. Official name: Socialist Republic of Vietnam. Area: 227,881 square miles. Vietnam is the 65th largest country in the world. Capital city: Hanoi. Important cities: Ho Chi Minh City, Hải Phòng, Huế, Đà Nẵng, Cần Thơ. Population: 89,571,130. July 2010. Official languages: Vietnam. National holiday: Independence Day, September 2nd. Religions: known 80.8%, Buddhist 9.8%, and other 9.9%. Major industries: farming, fishing, manufacturing, mining, services. Natural resources: bauxite, coal, crude oil, gold, iron ore, salt, tin, zinc. Manufactured products: appliances, cement, glass, electronics, fertilizers, steel, rubber products. Farm products: coffee, tea, rubber, ice, soybeans, sugarcane, peanuts, chicken, cattle, and pigs. Unit of money: dong.